This is Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Don't shake your body.
Wake your fuck ass up. That crust out your eyes.
Yo, you gotta love that. Those are the singled out days of MTV, and the one and only Jenny McCarthy is here.
Yay!
That's me.
I like when you come up here, Jenny, because you also brought a special guest with you, Sabra Ricci.
That's correct.
Sabra Ricci. You guys
Sabra.
just authored a book together, Dirty, Sexy, Funny Astrology. But I like when you're here because we have this, we talked about this before, this common bond.
Yep.
Heather was on Real World. You were singled out.
Yep.
And I've done MTV News.
It was all Sweatshop TV days.
Sweatshop TV, right?
You know what? You know what they paid me on Single Out back in the day?
What?
I made $300 a show.
Damn, $300?
That's more than what I got for Real World.
Come on.
I got $2,600 for the season.
Holy shit!
Damn.
I'm like, how am I supposed to feed anything?
Yeah.
I'm like, thank God McDonald's was a sponsor because that's how I ate.
Well, I worked for free. So,
Really?
no, I'm bullshitting. I felt bad for them.
I'm about to say, shut up, Sway.
By the
But
time
you
I
know
came,
what? Look at us now. It gave us an
Ow.
opportunity.
Okay, right. Give us some opportunities, and look what we do with it. We write books about dirty, sexy, funny astrology.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Tell me about this book because I'm really
You're intrigued by
I'm
those
intrigued
photos.
by astrology,
You know-
and they got great photos in there with.
What happened was, Sabra's been my astrologist and my friend for, I don't know, the past forever. Let's say 10, 15 years. I think longer than that. And every guy I'd go out with, I'd call her up and say, okay, listen, this is his birthday. Help me out. Do I keep going on a date or do I get the fuck away from him? And she was always right. Like when I ignored it, I burnt. And when she was right, the relationships were good. And then when Donnie came into my life, I'm like, all right, I'm going to have her come over and do a reading on Donnie. I was only dating him a few weeks. And she looked at his chart and she said, Jenny, he's going to ask you to marry him. I'm like, fuck off. Donnie Wahlberg's going to ask me to marry him. I'm like, I thought it was going to be a fun little...
Yeah.
And she's like, in October, his house is going to move into whatever. And he's going to ask you to marry him. And she was dead right. So I thought, why not put a book together where you can have fun looking up signs, your ex-boyfriends, whoever, ex-girlfriends, or potential lovers, or for yourself, and put it together under my brand, Dirty, Sexy, Funny, with my favorite astrologist.
So what's Donnie's sign?
He's a Leo.
Oh, Leo. So you're a Scorpio. He's a Leo. What did you tell her about Scorpios and Leos, Sabra? How does that work?
I told her that she needed to treat him like a king and he would treat her like a queen because Leos are all about, it's a regal
Attention.
sign. They
Yeah.
need a lot of attention, a lot of affection.
What?
And as long as she can give that, otherwise they can get into power struggles, but she knows how to work that. So it's
I don't
a
want power. I want
Yes.
orgasms.
Wow. Hey.
Priorities.
Wow, that's a lot of pressure for Donnie. Donnie's my dude,
This
too,
is going to
man.
be creepy.
Yeah.
You know why? Because...
Wait, hold up.
Okay.
We got to breathe on that.
All right.
That's the next book. I don't want power. I want orgasms. Damn.
Dirty, sexy, funny.
That's what happens in your 40s.
All right. What were you going to say, Heather?
This is creepy, Jenny Sabra, because Sway is really good friends with my husband, and I don't want to talk about sex around Sway. Like, he's like brother, family, like, ew. So can we not? You can answer questions. Yeah, we don't want to.
You don't want to do the sex part for you. You want more of the emotional.
Yeah, I
stuff.
don't want
She can
Sway
give you
to know
emotional guidance.
how I seal the deal.
Get down.
Then don't turn to page 72.
Look at his face, Jenny.
I'm not. Nobody's asking about what you and him do in bed. I don't want to know either.
This is what this is about.
Well, let me ask you this, Sabra, because we had Neil deGrasse Tyson come up here, who is a scientist, and we asked him, and he does a show. Are you familiar with him? You're familiar with him?
Yes, I had him on the
Yes.
show. It blew my mind.
Yeah, he's the smartest man on the planet. And we asked him about astrology because I grew up and my family was big on astrology, and this is what he had to say.
When you go to your horoscope in the day and you say, oh, what are you, Scorpio? You go straight to the Scorpio and it's written, that's okay, that's going to happen to me. You should try it differently. Do the following. Get someone else to pick one of those horoscopes at random and read it to you. Best do it in an entire room. I've done this experiment.
Yeah.
I picked one at random, read it to a room of 100 people, and I'd say, did I just read your horoscope? 70% of the hands went up. Well, no, of course, it's not 70% of them. So you realize that they're written in such a way that you can find the meaning that you know and need for yourself because of the way each one of those horoscopes are written.
Yeah, I feel like he was discrediting astrology and horoscopes.
He was discrediting the newspaper people that do
Okay.
those astrology. You know those we get those little tidbit 3-sentence things?
Let me shed some light on that. Those are based on where your ascendant is. That's how they do the whole thing. So unless you have your sun sign is the same as your rising sign or your ascendant, it's not going to be applicable because that's what they're basing it on.
Okay.
So it can be very generic.
That's why I never buy into the newspaper astrology.
Okay.
Ever.
If you know your ascendant, read your ascendant because that's going to be more applicable.
Okay. How many of us really know what she's saying
I
right
was
now?
just about to say, maybe a little
Rising
decoding.
and low. What do you mean by the
well,
rising
haven't
sign?
you ever heard your rising sign? Okay,
Right.
well that's done. It's a mathematical calculation based on where the sun and the moon were at your exact time of birth, and that gives your rising sign, and that's where your first house starts. Anyway, a little bit too much information right now, but if you guys ever want to find out, you can come.
We
to me.
don't buy.
No.
She's an astrologer, and she doesn't buy into the newspaper or the cosmetology
okay.
readings either.
Okay, cool. I just want to clear that up before we start talking about sex and signs. Okay, so if you want to talk about astrology and sex, 888-742-3345. Give us a call. Morning. Shade 45. 18 minutes into the hour. Jenny McCarthy is here.
Yep.
Sabra Ricci is here.
Yep.
Is it Ricci or Richie?
Ricci.
I'm saying it right.
You are saying
All
it
right.
right.
Dirty, Sexy, Funny Astrology is the name of the book. People can get this now, Jenny.
On Amazon.com. Get it right now.
And iTunes.
And
too.
iTunes. Okay. And
We're going to give you guys like 5 books to give away too.
okay, great. Because
Nice.
I'm a Cancer, Sabra. According to astrology, who would be like my best fuck buddy? Like,
Oh, my God.
Get right to it, homie.
Well, your Capricorn would be excellent. Scorpio, but Scorpio is like probably off the charts. Have you been with a Scorpio before?
Yeah.
This is not
Too intense.
It was like dating a bunny rabbit.
What does that mean?
She just wanted to fuck all the time.
God, it's so us.
But that's kind of what this book's about. It's kind of about your hottest hookup, not really your who you're gonna go the long haul with. This is like your hottest hookup, and not so much those who you should avoid at all
But
costs.
it's fun to go back to it and your exes, how you usually go on Facebook to see if they got bald and fat and hairy.
Oh,
yeah.
But then I'd go out and look at their signs and be like, oh, good, they weren't meant to be.
They weren't meant to
Exactly.
be, right?
Yeah.
I got a Capricorn now, so how is that?
You're perfect. It's your exact opposite, and you know what they say: opposites attract. Yeah.
Okay. So I got freaky things in my future here,
Yeah.
right? Now, who doesn't work for a Cancer? I'm just curious.
Who doesn't work for a Cancer?
What's oil and vinegar for Cancers when it comes to astrology and sexual chemistry?
Cancers, I can tell you right now, Cancers are very stubborn. So you have to be okay with that.
Whatever, Jenny.
Aries, an Aries wouldn't be good for you.
Uh-huh.
They're too fast. Your Cancers are, I don't know how you are, but most Cancers are pretty sensitive. They have a real sensitive nature.
I watch Lifetime all the time.
I'm on Hallmark Channel every weekend.
Even like what you said about the Scorpio,
your hottest sex is Scorpio.
Well, show him the picture for Cancer. Like,
Did you see your sex
want to
position?
cuddle.
Let me see my sex position.
You want a spoon? He does. There it is.
It's a picture of a guy and a girl spooning in a fetal position. What the
Sway need a
hell is
hug.
that?
Let me find out Sway need a hug.
I look
every
weak on
day.
that.
We had sex positions in the book of which sex position goes with which sign, and his was spooning. You also have Cancer, Leo, and Capricorn are great for like one night stand or 2 night stands. Not so much Aries, Gemini, Libra, Sagittarius, Aquarius.
Really?
Not so much.
Yeah.
Now, Sabra, what
Okay.
about, we were speaking about this a little bit. What about same-sex couples?
But this pretty much applies across the board.
Mhm.
People are people, right?
Yeah, because I had a Leo girlfriend, and that wasn't going to go down.
That didn't work? You and a Leo girlfriend? What's you're a Scorpio?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was thinking about how Jenny, her husband's a Leo, and that's why I was like, that's working out lovely because mine was headed all towards disaster. No other exit.
You have to be, I would say, where I'm at now in my life with Donnie is why it works out so well. I think if we would have met in our 20s, it would have been a disaster.
Yeah, you were Playmate back then, right?
Playmate back then.
Yeah.
He was still, as he refers to during that time, demanding respect.
Okay.
You know, he was going through his demanding respect period, and as the new kids was dying out, and when he was 20. So I think it would have been a rough period for us. But now that we're old and wise,
it's different, right? The bang would have been different back then than what it is now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still a bunny rabbit, though. Don't get me wrong.
Wow, hello, Johnny. I hope you're jogging. Sharta's on the line from North Carolina. Sharta, good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing all right. Say hello to Sabra and Jenny.
Hi.
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
Great.
How are you?
I was calling. I'm dating a Cancer now, and I'm a Libra, and I've been dating him since December, and I'm just anxious to know, like, if we're compatible or is it a waste of time?
Well, so you're the Libra and he's a Cancer, is that right? Or the other way around? You're a Libra, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's not your best match. I mean, it has its challenges. It just depends on you. I mean, Libras like to please. So just don't find yourself like, you hate conflict. So you'll do anything to, satisfy people. So just make sure that you're really, being true to yourself, because honestly, it's not your best match, but it's probably exciting.
It is. My previous relationship was for 13 years, and it was with the Aries, and that was very fast. And it was more so of a giving instead of give and take with those.
But you hung in there for 13 years. Yeah. He must have been paying bills. Was he paying bills?
Yes.
Okay, all right. She was tricking. Jenny, you ever trick back in your heyday?
A trick?
You ever tricking? No, don't answer that. Donnie's my
I
goat.
know.
Let me stop.
I'll answer anything.
I
That's
know. That's why Donnie's my guy, so I'm not going to ask you the craziest questions, all right?
He's going to have so much respect for you now.
Yeah, I love him. Justine in Missouri.
Hey,
good morning, Justine. How you doing?
Good morning.
Hey,
How are you guys?
doing okay. You got a question for Jenny and Sabra?
Yeah, basically, I know I read astrology all the time, and, I know my best matches are Aquarius and Gemini, but I actually married a Cancer, and I was just curious if that is good for the long haul or not.
What sign are you?
I'm a Libra.
You're a Libra. Well, this is the thing. To really get your true, like, there are a lot of other things, and there's a whole chapter in the beginning of the book about this. I mean, based on where your Mars is, your Venus, Sun and Moon connections, or other things that apply that make people a good match for you. Sun sign to sun sign is very generic. So if you've been in this that long and it's working, don't break don't fix what's not broken. Mm-hmm. It must be working, right?
Don't change it because just as the sign says
something
different.
Yeah, exactly.
And get this book, Dirty, Sexy, Funny Astrology with Jenny McCarthy and Sabra Ricci. How can they get it?
Amazon.com, iTunes. Also, we'll give 5 away to your listeners any which way you want to give them.
Okay, great. Because you got like Patty Stanger said this book is the perfect tool for dating. I'm going to make sure all my clients and friends get one stat. Bravo, from the Millionaire Matchmaker. Yeah. Oh, wow, you got Snooki to comment on the book. Oh, this is going to drive it up. This is going to drive the numbers up. I wish I had this book when I was single so I could have bypassed all the douchebags I dated. For no other reason, get this book for Snooki. We're going to come back with some Celebrity Wire, too.
Yeah, we got to find out what Lamar Odom and heroin unfortunately have in common.
Shade 45.
It's Sway in the morning, only
on Shade 45.